Hi, my name is Mark Archer and I teach the Blowout Sax, the revolutionary way. This is chapter 5, so this is 2 little fingers and B flat. So what we're going to do in this chapter is we're going to learn the last 3 black notes on the saxophone involving 2 little fingers and B flat. So that's what we're going to do now. Step 2, chapter 5, is we're going to learn the note G sharp, which is one of the trickiest notes on the saxophone. So it involves 3 fingers on, and your little finger has a purpose in your life, which is to hit the top part of what they call the pedal key. Okay? Now often you'll find on the G sharp that this key sticks. It's one of those keys that sometimes you've got to flick it up. So make sure it's not sticking and put your little finger on the G sharp. Okay? Something else to practice is going from G to G sharp. Just try that for me, Katie, with the thumb off, real soft. Great, sounds like Mission Impossible, doesn't it? Okay. Then, right, so with the thumb off, we just blow out really softly. Go for that one. Good, and with the thumb on, just slightly lifting the horn a little bit. Beautiful, good. Now that's a note that sometimes it grumbles around the G or the G sharp. If you take a tiny bit too much mouthpiece, you get this involuntary sort of growl, which is what you learned in the last chapter. We don't want that, so if that happens, just take a millimetre less mouthpiece in your mouth just to produce that lovely note. So that's G sharp, so it's 1, 2, 3 fingers on and your little finger on all the time, okay? Now we're going to show you a little trick of how to make G sharp a little bit easier to play. And on the more modern saxophone, so if you've got a very old vintage sax, this next little technique won't work as well. So each little one has got its own G sharp. Final thing to say on it, if your finger ever slips, you can hit any part of those pedal keys and it will all play you G sharp. So that's worth knowing as well, okay? So as long as you clatter into something there, but aim for the top one. So that is how to play G sharp on the saxophone. Step 3 is how to involve the G sharp into play when we're playing the saxophone. So the track we're going to do is a track called Brahms Lullaby, which is a really famous piece of music, which is the one that your mum and dad would have wound up and played to you when you were a little baby asleep. I once heard it live with Dave Brubeck, the amazing pianist who played with Paul Desmond as he finished the gig as his outro. Absolutely beautifully played as well. Now we're going to play in the key of A major. So we're going to actually prep this before we do it. A scale, scala, means ladder. It's basically the notes that you're going to need to play in a certain tune. So in this tune, we're going to play in the key of either A major, which is for happy music, or F sharp minor for sad music. Now, this is really important because we're tuned on this beautiful alto sax in concert pitch E flat, which means that if they're playing the white notes on the piano, C on the piano, or concert pitch guitar, we're going to end up playing in this key of F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. These are the first 3 black notes we've learnt. Okay, so what we're going to do first, Katie, is we're just going to play that scale, the A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and G sharp, and A. Now, this is the trick that we're going to bring into the tune. As we cross the bridge and all 6 fingers arrive, you're going to put your little finger down already for your G sharp. Leave it there, so as you go D, E, F sharp, G sharp, your finger is already there before you get there. It won't make any difference to the notes. Cool? All right, so this is called preparing your fingers. And when you run up and down a scale and you think, oh, it's a scale and it's really dull, and maybe it is, but it's a bit like preparing the ingredients before you cook the meal. It's worth almost telling your fingers, these are the notes we're going to be using before we start playing the tune. So if I just play the scale and then you play it back to me, cool? Okay, so as you round on that D, you've already got that little pin key down early. Cool? Okay, play me that, please. Well done, cool, okay? And the other manoeuvre, just to get nice and smooth, from that C sharp with nothing on to 6 fingers and the thumb on. So what we had was a little pause, look at the bridge there. So we had... So see if you can just kind of get everything moving a little bit quicker than you think you should. Your little finger going down slightly quicker than mine was there. That's it, with a little bit of effort in there. Good. So that's what we're going to do. So now we'll play Brahms Lullaby. So Brahms Lullaby starts with the C sharp we learned from the Careless Whisper tune last time. So the first 2 phrases. So if I play them and you echo them back, we're doing sort of little groups, yeah? Cool. Now, the next bit is when we go with B to C sharp to D. As we arrive on the D, get that little finger down early. Just get into good habits with that. Now, remember, you're going to go B to the D, your little finger's going to go on for the G sharp, and then you're going to leave it there as well. Make it really easy. That's all right, go for that phrase again, that's great, go again. Done. Good. It's really hard. So you're playing in 3 sharps, and this is totally deliberate. The idea being to get used to playing in different combinations of notes, and the F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, they're not easy to play. Okay, so really well done. So the deal with that is to learn to play that on your own and slowly, and then get the music that's available with this teaching book and play it along with the sax, and then when you've got it with the sax, then play it on your own. So that's something Katie's going to do next time I meet her. We're going to go through the tunes and make sure that she's actually got them licked and got them under her fingers. Now, it's not the world's most exciting tune, but it's doing a job. So sometimes you learn a tune because it's doing a job, it's introducing you to different notes and different ideas as well. Okay, so at this stage, when you're building up your saxophone repertoire, some of these tunes are just there because they're going to do a job and introduce you to tricky fingering. So that's how to play the note G sharp. Well done, and play Brahms Lullaby. And now we're going to go on to the next one. Step 4 is we're going to learn the second of the notes in this chapter, which is D sharp or E flat. So D sharp is 6 fingers on, and the little finger having a role to play, which is playing the upper part of that 2-tier key. The bottom one, that's for bottom C, but we'll come to that shortly. It's just the upper part of that key. Okay, so now let's play the D sharp E flat with the thumb off, blow very softly, very gently. Lovely, now play that note, real soft. Good, so relax your bottom lip, think low, slow the air down, and with the thumb on. D sharp, the thumb on. Great, so we've got both little fingers. At 3 fingers on, we've got G sharp, and at 6 fingers on, we've got the D sharp. So let's get those notes into play now with the next thing we're going to play, which is John Brown's Body using D sharp, E flat. Step 5 is we're going to learn another tune now, where we're going to involve the D sharp, the note we just learned, and the G sharp. Now, this is probably the hardest tune in this teaching book, Blowout Sax, a revolutionary approach to playing the saxophone, which is our way of doing it and playing by ear, a tested and proven and a hilarious and fantastically funny way to learn the saxophone. So we're going to play now in 4 sharps. We're going to play in the key of E. And the deal with E is we're going to be playing with F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp in 4 sharps. And this is deliberate to really throw you in the deep end of just getting used to playing in a difficult key. So E major if it's happy, C sharp, minor if it's sad. So now, Katie, the good news for you is we're going to play this scale. So when we go E, F sharp, your G sharp's already down. Remember with your hand and your technique to keep your fingers just touching the keys all the time. This is where it's more crucial than ever, because you're going to be landing from the C sharp, nothing on, to 6 fingers and the thumb on for the D sharp. So there's a bit of landing to be done here. Okay? So we're going to play the scale really softly. Let's just do it together. Start on that low E. Okay, you have go. Stop. Now remember that little pinky down. Remember, if in doubt, just, that's it. Be easy now.
Oh no.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. Go again. that is tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really, really tricky. Okay, so you prep the fingers with that first. Your fingers getting used to all these really clanky, very difficult combinations of getting two fingers down together involving little fingers. Little fingers are notoriously not very fluent. They get more fluent. And this is also something physically you could do in front of the TV, just making your fingers work in front of the TV all the time, just getting them there. You can do an awful lot of finger work, muscle memory work, without actually blowing the sax, and it kind of gives you the sound of the notes. Okay, now, we're going to play John Brown's Body, which is great if you're a Manchester United fan, because that's what they sing there, which is a Republican tune from 1861, and is one I used to sing, a beautiful three-part harmony with my friends at university. So that's what we used to do, so hence I love the tune. Now, well, the other difficult part in this tune, so we're quickly going to do this as well, Katie, is going from 6 fingers on, and the little pinky on, from the D sharp up to the E. D sharp up to the E. Okay, so we're trying to get those two off together. That's the other tricky one we're going to do. So let's just try that now with the thumb on. Sounds like something out of Jaws. Okay, go for it. Good, okay, well done. Okay, so that's the tricky maneuver in that one. So with this tune, first phrase, remember with the first tune, as we cross that bridge and we play the E, get the little pinky down for the G sharp already. Okay, first phrase. And then thumb. Bro, could do it one more time. Well done, well adjusted. So if you get it grumbly like that, just take the tiniest little bit less mouthpiece. Can you do that one more time for me, please? And then kind of gently get your 2 front teeth on the nice rubber pad and sort of try and get that regular spot so you're going to the same spot all the time. Bro, well done. So D sharp into play. And then repeating the first phrase again. Remember to get that little pinky on when you land on the E. Well done, good catch up. And then slow it up. Well done, really well done, really well done. And that's a hard tune. So the deal with tunes, if they're tricky physically, 2 times slow, 1 time quick, so just play it really slow and really kind of emboss the phrasing onto your fingers. So 2 times slow, 1 times quick, okay? And then it's just landing those little pinkies and getting everything there before you've got to get there in those 4 black notes. This is a really tricky key. I've done a beautiful backing, really slow backing with me playing on it, and then a lovely backing again without. So again, do it with and without the music, so you're training your ear to listen to music, because that's the blowout way. We learn by ear, so listening. So once you've got the tune played through on your own, then record it with the backing. And again, we'll see Katie play that next time we meet with the backing track as well, so we can really start working her in her ear as well. So that's how to play John Brown's Body. Step 6 is the final note in this fantastic chapter, and very difficult chapter, but it's deliberately there because we want to get really stuck into these black notes. And the final one is B flat. There are two ways of playing B flat. There's the orthodox way that most of the teachers, most of the teachers who aren't blowout sax teach, which is the two fingers on for the A and the bottom side key, or as my great American colleague Craig Crofton used to say, sidebar. Okay, so it's the bottom sidebar, side key, with the two fingers on for the A, and you nudge that kind of with the knuckle part. And that's one way of playing B flat, so go for that, Kate. Brilliant. And that's cool, and that's really great for a trill. Okay, do a little trill on that for me as well.
Is that with the thumb on?
Thumb on or off, whichever suits. Cool other. Great, okay. Now the other way of playing B flat, so the A to B flat, that's a really nice way of doing it. There are other ways of playing B flat, but the main way I would suggest is put your finger on the normal B, and there's a little key below it, just called a bis, B-I-S, a bis key, which is French for alternative. So this is the way I propose we do it, because the nice thing with this way of doing it is that when you play the A and the G, as we're shortly going to in House of the Rising Sun, it doesn't make any difference. So it's a bit like the G sharp when you have to get it there early. You can get it there early. The only tricky part about this fingering is when you have to go to C. So you sit there in front of your favourite sport, or in front of anything actually, and practice going from C to B flat and landing that first finger on the first 1.5 keys effectively. Okay? So let's play the B flat that way as well. Okay, and that's the note we're going to bring in. So we're going to bring the B flat into play shortly. So that's the note B flat. That's the third and final fingering that we've learned in this fantastic chapter 5 of my teacher book, Blowout Sax, a revolutionary approach to learning to play the saxophone. Step 7 is how to incorporate the note B flat into a tune. So we're going to play the tune that was #1 when I was born in 1964, which is House of the Rising Sun, one of the greatest songs ever. In the world of pop songs, arranged by Alan Price, produced by Mickey Mouse, for those who are old enough to remember, and I am. I've seen it live, fantastic. So we're going to play this in a G blues. Now G blues is one of the most expressive blues. As you know, you've just played a B blues. So G blues we're going to play as G, B flat, C, C sharp as the blue note, 6 fingers on for D, F and G. So it sounds like this. You can really hear the bluesy feeling in that. So you can play G blues for me first, please, Katie. So remember to cover that B flat roll early. That's it, well done. Now just cover that B flat roll early, slide it, that's it, perfect. So the C. That's it, that was a bit interesting. Was it? Okay, let's do that one more time, that's great. Okay, just slow it down, don't hurry it at all. So the C. 6 feet. That's it, and come back down with a wee bit less mouthpiece when you start that G. Left thumb. Into the C. Good, okay, so you spend some time just rolling through that, yeah? Which already sounds fantastic, doesn't it? So if you play that enough, it sounds great. Cool, now House of the Rising Sun, which is, we've got a brilliant backing track with and without the sound. The first verse is the tricky verse. Okay, so a bit like the last one, when you're going G, G, A, B flat, get the B flat down, cover it, roll early, okay? And take the phrasing gaps in this. Okay, Okay, so take the phrasing gaps, okay? I probably took one more phrase than we need, but you get the idea, yeah? That's it, that final phrase where I took a gap and I should have. Get a bit arty on you then, okay? Then, if you like Warren, choices you can Warren or tongue those G's.
Oh no.
No, it's alright, be cool. Look, let's move. Well done. Now, when you're the next phrasing, when you go from high G to low G, remember to just slow the air down, soften the air and think it down. So you punch the first 3 G's, then soften out. And remember to get that B flat down real early. Good, then soft. Bro. Well done, good. And then the last phrase, each time you play this song, switches from the F to the F sharp. So it goes to what they call a harmonic minor note, which we'll get into that later, but it just changes the feel. So it goes. Getting softer on all that low D. Right from your stomach. Good, play me that low D again, real soft as you land down on it. That's it. Really relax into it. Perfect, we've got a bit of overtones going on. Let's play that last phrase again from the G, 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 F sharp, D. Cool, okay, so that's the difficult verse. The next couple of verses, they nearly all roll together, and again, there are moments where you can get the B flat down. Okay, so just go for that verse. Remember it's F sharp at the end rather than F.
Oh no.
That'd be cool. B flat. Well done. That's it. Just a little work on that low D. It's getting better, eh? Let's play that final phrase again and we're there. F sharp. Good battling, good, really well done. So one of the things when you're playing the sax is you've got to be really determined and also never get wound up with it. If you get annoyed with the sax, it doesn't work for you at all. It's a bit like a loved one. Stay as relaxed as possible with it. Relax your lips, think slow, warm, gorgeous, rich sound. You have to be with the sax all the time. If your mind wanders or you're not with it or you get really wound up with it, it falls apart completely. So just nice and relaxed. And again, each one of these verses, just play them really slowly. When you've got the feel of them, put on the backing track, play it with me playing along with the sax. And then when you think you've got that as well, then playing it on the backing track like Katie's going to next time. So that's all the notes, especially involving the B flat. So lots of work with the B flat, either the bis that way or the 2 fingers and the side key. But I prefer that one. If you're playing a B flat and a C and sit there in front of the telly, literally just doing B flat. It's the opposite there, not in front of the telly, but just doing the B flat and the C, muscle memorying that fingering into your playing. So that's how to play the note B flat on the alto sax. Step 8 is to conclude this fantastic chapter, which is called, chapter's called 2 Little Fingers and B flat. Okay, so the notes are the G sharp, 3 fingers on little pinky, the D sharp, 6 fingers on little pinky, and then the first finger on both. Okay, and incorporate those along with the other black notes we played, which is F sharp, 3 fingers on second finger of the right hand, so 3 fingers on second finger of the right hand, and C sharp, which is nothing on at all, the ugly note. Remember I used to call it the ugly note. So there are 10 notes there. Now we have 24 of the notes. These 24 notes that you know so far are going to make up about 98% of your saxophone playing, maybe even more. So really incorporate them into your playing as much as possible. Play through these 3 very famous tunes as well, which will take time. So take the time, build that strong foundation, and with that way then you can run a million miles and have many, many, many wonderful hours playing this fantastic instrument, the creation of Adolphe Sax, the saxophone. So go, play, be patient, and really enjoy yourselves.